You don't lack motivation, at least not in the way people usually mean it, because if you truly had no motivation, you wouldn't be watching this right now. You wouldn't be thinking about changing. You wouldn't feel frustrated that nothing ever sticks. You'd just drift. But that's not what's happening here. Something in you still cares, even if you're tired, even if starting feels heavy, and that's important. What's actually happening is quieter and more confusing. You want to do things, you imagine yourself doing them, you even feel a small spark sometimes, and then it disappears. The energy drops, the moment passes, and you're left asking the same question again. Why can't I just start? Why does motivation show up and then leave the moment I need it most? And at some point, you stop blaming motivation and you start blaming yourself. You tell yourself you're lazy, undisciplined, inconsistent, and the more you repeat that story, the heavier everything feels. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Motivation isn't broken, your relationship with effort is. And nobody really explains that part. Most people think motivation is a feeling, something you either have or don't have, something you're supposed to wake up with. But motivation doesn't actually work like that. Motivation is a response. It responds to clarity, it responds to momentum, and it responds to meaning. And right now, your brain doesn't feel any of those things. Instead, your brain feels crowded, constantly reacting, constantly processing, never fully resting. Every single day, your attention is pulled in 100 different directions: notifications, videos, messages, unfinished thoughts. So by the time you sit down to do something important, your brain doesn't feel inspired. It feels tired, not physically tired, decision tired. You've already made too many choices today. What to watch, what to scroll, what to ignore, what to react to. So when it's finally time to choose effort, your brain quietly refuses, not because you don't care, but because it's overloaded. This is why motivation feels random. Some days it appears out of nowhere, other days it's completely gone. Nothing about you changed. Your mental bandwidth did. And here's where most people accidentally make things worse. They notice motivation is gone, so they try to force it back. They watch productivity videos, they make plans, they promise themselves tomorrow will be different, and when it doesn't work, they feel even worse. Because now it's not just exhaustion, it's guilt. And guilt is heavy. Guilt drains motivation faster than laziness ever could. Your brain starts associating effort with pressure, pressure with failure, and failure with shame. So even small tasks start to feel emotionally expensive. Sending a message, opening a document, starting something new, it all feels heavier than it should. That's why you procrastinate things you actually care about. Not because you don't want them, but because wanting them makes failure hurt more. So your brain protects you. It avoids starting. Scrolling feels easier because it doesn't ask anything from you. No expectations, no standards, no risk. And slowly, motivation stops showing up at all. Not because it disappeared, but because your brain learned that effort equals pain. Here's the shift that actually changes things. You stop chasing motivation and you stop waiting for the feeling. Instead, you lower the emotional cost of starting, not the task itself, the meaning you attach to it. You stop saying, "This has to fix my life," and you start saying, "This is just a signal." 10 minutes is enough, not to finish, not to succeed, just to remind your brain that effort doesn't always hurt. Motivation returns when effort feels safe again, quietly, slowly, not as hype, but as trust. Your brain starts believing, I can do things without being punished for it. That's when consistency appears. Not from discipline, but from relief. And one more thing that's important to understand. Motivation doesn't disappear all at once. It fades quietly. It fades when your days start feeling the same. When effort feels disconnected from results. When your mind is always somewhere else. You don't notice it leaving. You just notice that starting feels heavier than it used to. That doesn't mean you lost something. It means your brain has been carrying too much for too long. Most people try to fix that by adding more routines, more goals, more pressure. But pressure doesn't restore energy. It consumes it. What restores energy is safety, the sense that you can begin without being judged, without needing to succeed, without needing to prove anything. That's why small starts matter more than big plans. They quietly tell your brain, it's okay to try again. And if right now all you can manage is awareness, that's not failure. Awareness is effort without force. It's effort without resistance. It's the beginning of trust between you and your own mind. Once that trust starts forming, motivation doesn't need to be chased. It naturally shows up where it's welcome. Before you close this video, take a moment to notice something. You're still here. Not because you were entertained, but because part of you is paying attention. Most people scroll past moments that ask them to reflect, but you stayed. And that says something about where you're at right now. You're not searching for hacks. You're searching for relief, relief from the constant pressure to be better, faster, more productive, relief from the feeling that you're always supposed to be doing something and nobody teaches you how to rest mentally, only how to push harder. So if all this video did was slow you down for a few minutes, that's already a win. You don't need a breakthrough tonight. You don't need answers. You don't need clarity. Sometimes the most productive thing you can do is stop adding noise. Let boredom exist. Let silence feel awkward. Let your thoughts wander without direction. That discomfort isn't a problem. It's a sign your brain is finally resting. And if tomorrow you still feel tired, that's okay. Awareness doesn't fix everything instantly. It changes how you relate to what you're experiencing. Instead of fighting your mind, you start listening to it. Instead of forcing effort, you create conditions where effort feels natural again. This channel isn't here to push you. It's here to give you room. Room to think clearly. Room to breathe. Room to understand yourself without judgment. If that's something you want more of, then you're in the right place. So don't rush, don't pressure yourself to change, and don't compare your pace to anyone else's. Growth doesn't always feel like movement. Sometimes it feels like stillness, and sometimes stillness is exactly what you've been missing. Take care of your mind. It's been carrying more than anyone realizes,